Alright, I'm gonna make this quick because you either saw the thumbnail or read the title of this video. Long story short, my fiancé sees this specimen as peak human form and thinks this game is the game of all time. So as a loving partner I am, I decided to play her favorite game and document my journey as proof that I played it, and provide evidence in court that I tried in this relationship when she eventually leaves me for a mop with Aloy's face taped to it. I hope you enjoy. Our story begins with our main character as a baby, being raised by this guy, Rost. He takes us up to a mountain and does a ritual to bless our name. We meet these three women who are the matriarchs of the tribe, who are stricken with a horrible disease called discrimination. Our character was banished for the sole reason that she doesn't have a mother. Fast forward at least 3 days and we've grown up a little bit. We take a tumble into a cave with some modern day looking technology, including this cool ranch Dorito, which we found on this dead guy. We stick it on our head and we're somehow given the ability to see some fancy tech stuff. We end up using it to escape the cave. Later on, we get a rock thrown at us by some snot-nosed kids, and we're given the option about how to react. I've decided that for the entire game, I'm going to choose only the fist option no matter what. So we choose to throw the rock back at him, and Rost shoots the rock out of the air, which apparently he does while standing right behind us. I'm sorry, but if Rost missed that arrow, he would have straight up murdered that kid. If he was off to the side, then sure, I could see it, but right behind us, no way. Anyway, Ross pulls us aside and we beg him to tell us why we are outcast and where we came from. We learn that there's an American Ninja Warrior competition every year called the Proving, and whoever wins becomes an honorary stormtrooper and gets a boon that grants them whatever they want.
Whatever the winner wants.
AKA, we're gonna ask them where we came from. Cue the training montage. Now, after some intense training, let me introduce you to our main character, Merida, making a cameo from Walt Disney's 2012 hit movie, Brave. Now that I'm all grown up, Rost teaches me how to hunt a sawtooth. I put down a tripwire trap and killed it with ease. On our way to the Proving, Rost and Merida have a heart-to-heart. Alright, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, I know how these Disney movies go. If Tadashi from Big Hero 6 and Ellie from Up have taught me anything, Rost will be 100% dead within the hour, because nothing quite starts an adventure like debilitating trauma. Anyway, before the Proving we meet Olin, who also has a Dorito. Except instead of the Cool Ranch Dorito flavor, he has the nacho cheese flavor. I'm not gonna lie, that's kinda all I care to explain about him. Next up, we meet Civil War Union General Ambrose Burnside. Did you enjoy meeting secondary characters? Because I sure did. We finally start the Proving by fighting some machines and doing some sick parkour to come in first place. As promised, our reward is death! We got attacked by some tribal dudes and I valiantly fought them off. Turns out they had a nacho cheese Dorito as well. While I was contemplating eating it, I got snuck up on from behind by this guy who thought he was cooler because he was wearing less armor than the other guys. But right before we met our demise, we were saved by none other than Rost, who shows up just long enough to get himself stabbed. Oh, that can't be good. Maybe just walk it off. Oh, dang! Well, I heard being ripped apart by explosives was a peaceful way to go. Trauma acquired, fade to black, and we wake up inside the sacred mountain of our tribe. We learn that we were targeted through Olin's Dorito because we were 99.42% similar to this woman who Merida thinks is her mother. Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure every human is like way more similar to each other than just 99.42, and by that logic, Merida is genetically similar to literally everyone else except for this woman. But I'll suspend my disbelief because we don't know if this universe plays with the same rules. Anyway, they worship this giant door that they call the All-Mother. They also reveal that they found Merida as a baby sitting in front of the door. This matriarch, Tirsa, thought we were a blessing while the others thought we were a curse. Okay, sorry, another rant. Why are we an outcast for not having a mother when we were literally sitting in front of the All-Mother? Like, if we walked up to God and found a baby sitting at his feet, I don't think there's any way you could think it wasn't a gift. Whatever, not important. We walk up to the door and Siri says that an alpha registry was corrupted. Remember that, we're gonna come back to that later. So now the matriarchs have made me their certified errand boy and send me out to figure out what the corruption is all about. Next stop is Meridian, where Olin should be. Along the way, I picked some flowers, got bodied, committed war crimes, got bodied again. Then I arrived at an outpost outside of Meridian where I showed how big and strong I am for killing a corruptor.
So, will you open the gate for me now?
They gave me a pat on the back and a good noodle star and pointed me toward Meridian. Along the way, I picked some flowers, saw a big bird, got bodied by a big bird, then respected the big bird's authority by going a different route to find a tall neck. These guys are pretty cool. You just gotta climb up to the top of them and stab their brain with your spear. Easy peasy. After that astounding success, we're back on track to Meridian, where I picked some flowers, committed war crimes, saw a big dinosaur, respected Big Dinosaur's authority, then got cocky and had my bones smashed to dust. 3 times. Alright, here we go. Welcome to Meridian, the land of 5 FPS. We meet up with Ambrose and break into Olin's house. We find out he's actually being blackmailed into helping the bad guys. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. We have to save him. We track him down and learn that the bad guys are a cult called the Eclipse, and they're trying to bring a bunch of ancient robots back to life. Apparently something's going down at a place called Maker's End. How nefarious! Don't worry, Olin, I'll save you.
I'll tell you everything.
Well, that's unfortunate. Anyway, on to Maker's End. Along the way, I had a very peaceful walk. And then I got bodied and became a disembodied head, as you do. Welcome to Maker's End, the land of giant killer robots. After taking it down, we entered some ancient ruins. We learn a lot of plot here, but I'm going to recap everything later, so calm down. We did, however, meet this guy as a hologram. Meet Sylens. His whole thing is that he's interested in the ancient world and crap. He tells me to go somewhere called Grave Horde to learn more plot. But first, Ambrose stuff. Apparently his sister managed to get herself kidnapped, so we have to save her from this loud machine, and she thanks us by dying. Looks like Ambrose got some trauma of his own. Anyway, moving on, we found this bomb in Meridian, and our solution is to push it from up here to down there. We managed to do so and die.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly...
Just kidding, we're fine. Okay, now we're off to Grave Horde. By now you know the deal, I was on my way, picking some flowers, and... Welcome to Grave Horde. We got giant metal bugs that give birth to smaller giant metal bugs. You already know I can't start any boss fight without clicking the wrong button and splattering my brains all over the feet of my enemy. Always do twice for the best results. Anyway, I killed the big bad robot on my first try and was rewarded with more lore from Sylens. Basically all you need to know is our next stop is another lore dump under the city of some ruffians. But first, I want to try out the Frozen Wilds DLC area before I do that. So, after immediately giving up, I was shocked by a tall neck, met an evil AI, and ran for my life until I eventually arrived at the Sun City, where I descended into some dusty ruins to learn some more lore. Alright, now it's finally time for me to clue you into the lore, so buckle in. The date is long ago in the mid-2060s. We got this guy named Frodo, who designs these robots that he calls the Peacekeepers, which is about as inconspicuous as walking into a bank with a shotgun and saying to the teller, "I'd like to make a withdrawal, please." So these robots are built with the ability to self-replicate and convert biomass into energy. And you know what's made of biomass? You, me, animals, plants, everything. And wouldn't you know it, these robots go all Mojo Jojo Frodo's murder robos and start doing exactly what they were built to do. Eating living junk and replicating. So they're eating people, plants, animals, left and right, and nobody can stop them. That is until this girl named Elizabeth shows up with a plan called Project Zero Dawn. The government markets this project to the whole world as a super weapon that will save humanity. So they gave everyone a gun and told them to hold off the murder robots just long enough for them to finish building it. Turns out Zero Dawn isn't actually a weapon. It's an AI named Gaia, whose job is to rebuild the Earth after it's been destroyed. So just to make sure you get the picture, Project Zero Dawn was never going to save the world from extinction, which is kinda hardcore. I'm into it. Anyway, before Gaia can rebuild the Earth, she needs to deactivate the Frodobots, which they estimate would take her about 60 years to come up with the deactivation code. After she deactivates the killer robots, Gaia starts terraforming and fixing the planet by building her own robots to do the work for her. Those are the robots we've come to know and love. Then, once the Earth is ready to be lived on again, she has cradle facilities where she can grow humans and spit them out to live on her newly created Earth. When they were building Gaia, they gave her a sub-function they call the Hades. Basically, if Gaia was struggling to remake the Earth, Hades would take over Gaia and wipe the slate clean for her to try again. And to nobody's surprise, Hades got activated by some outside signal and is trying to wipe out humanity again. Hades is worshipped by a cult group named the Eclipse, which I mentioned earlier. They are the ones who attacked us at the Proving. We also found an alpha override, which means we can open up the door back in our homelands. The door that I told you to keep in mind for later. Alright, I know that was a lot of plot. That makes sense. I don't care. We don't got time to explain. We're being kidnapped. So yeah, we're being sacrificed to these two corruptors when Sylens bursts in to save us. While we're being rescued, Merida learns that the Nora homelands where we grew up is under attack by some bad guys. So we take a stroll over there and find a juiced up Thunderjaw. We kill it and make our way to the door that we couldn't open up in the beginning of the game. And now that we have our fancy alpha override, it lets us in. Basically, we learn that Merida is a clone of Elizabeth and is destined to stop Hades and yada yada yada. We gotta go to a mountain that Gaia blew up to find a master override, which is basically a glorified glass of water we have to pour over Hades. On our way to the mountain that Gaia blew up, I met Big Bird again. I'm a little stronger, so he died peacefully of natural causes. We grapple down to Gaia Prime, and I'll take a second to just let you take in the sights. Yes, it's very pretty. Anyway, we got more lore. Oh no. Elizabeth, she sacrificed herself to save Gaia. If she hadn't, life as we know it wouldn't even exist. She's not just a hero, she's a turbo loser who's probably a pile of bones, and moving on, Frodo's back to being a murderer, and he killed all the bigwigs and deleted all the information that was supposed to be passed down to the new generation of humans, which is why we're all tribal people. And oh hey look, here's the Master Override that's supposed to stop Hades. If that wasn't enough lore, we got more. Apparently Sylens originally helped Hades and founded the Eclipse, but once Sylens stopped being useful, Hades tried to kill him. For plot reasons, Hades is attempting to reach a spire that he will use to broadcast the activation signal to reawaken all the Frodo bots and destroy the world all over again. So what do we gotta do? Set up our defenses around the spire, which just so happens to be in Meridian. Hades was nice enough to warn us of his approach with a giant explosion and a bunch of peacekeepers marching down the mountain. But wait, there's an evil guy I never bothered to mention breaking out of prison. Well, I better solve this conundrum the only way I know how. Murder! Alright, now that he's out of the way, it's time to defend the city, using this giant cannon thing and doing a tower defense style minigame, which was actually kind of fun, not gonna lie. After successfully fending off the robots, Meridian was overrun and Merida was killed in action. But not before seeing Hades being pulled toward the spire. Just kidding, she's fine. Walk it off, it was only an entire bridge. Anywho, Hades is broadcasting from the spire and robots are waking up all over the place. Looks like it's up to us to stop him. It's also time for another team up with Ambrose and two other characters who I never bothered to talk to. Here we go, big boss time. We see Hades duct taped to the spire and we got a peacekeeper to fight. After handily dying, Merida strikes it down and it's time to confront Hades. We give him a big ol' stab with our spear and let the power of friendship spread throughout the land. Hero pose and credits roll. Nope, wait, I forgot these Disney movies have post-credit scenes now. Alright, let's see here. It looks like Sylens has a lantern of some sort and he seems to catch Hades in it, and looks like they're friends now. That's pretty sus. Guess we'll have to find out in the next game. Yep, I think we're gonna call it for the day. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great one, and zagadoosh.